From the Sigma Chi House on the Elizabeth campus of Roanoke College, this is Taw Talks. I am your host for this episode, Chapter Advisor Tommy Blair. More than 150 years of brotherhood, thousands of stories, and one place that connects them all. Well, hey, welcome. I know these guys have for a few months now heard me talking about this thing called a podcast, right? We're here in the basement of the Sigma Chi House, the remnants of St. Patty's Day still sort of wafting around upstairs, right? But here we are. And I do right away want to recognize and certainly give an opportunity for everybody here to introduce themselves to our, hopefully more than one viewer. So let's go start with you, Alex.
All right. I'm Alex Boyer. I'm a senior here. Been a part of the TAW chapter since my freshman year in the fall. Is when I was initiated. It's just been such a fantastic experience here. Just getting to know everyone. I've seen a lot of brothers come through here, older guys that have graduated, and I've seen classes under me that initiated. It's been fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to this podcast. It's a great opportunity. When I heard that Tommy was saying it was going to happen, I was definitely.
You were right up front.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, that's kind of my story here. I'm from Chicago. Never knew I was going to find Roanoke, but here I am, and it's been such a great decision. So
Great.
Yeah, I'm Drew Nato. I'm from Philly. I'm a sophomore currently, and I was initiated in the fall as a freshman. My time at Roanoke has been incredible so far. There's definitely been some bumps in the road, but part of what makes TAW chapter so special is that everyone's like a family here. So even when you hit those bumps in the road, everyone's got your back, so it makes it easier. But other than that, really not much else going on. I'm a lacrosse player, currently injured, getting back on the field, but just enjoying my time at TAW. Current social and current rush chair as well.
Nice.
I'm Delvi Dunas. I'm a senior from Richmond, Virginia. I was part of the fall of 2022 pledge class, and it's been a great decision to make, probably one of the better decisions I've made in my life, honestly. Getting ready to meet, not only undergraduate brothers that I've had that have gone on to graduate and whatnot, but also, some of the alumni I've had to meet, that were here way before my time. Really kind of shows how special a place Roanoke is.
Yeah.
I'm Chris Walters, and class of 2000. I am 1/10 of the spring pledge class of 1996. Some of you will have some commentary on that one. I was a former social chairman. That's sort of where I topped out, and enjoyed my time. And thankfully, I'm still local, and so I was happy when Tommy gave me the call to be here today.
That's
looking
great.
forward to it.
Yeah. And we'll come back and spend more time with Chris here, certainly, here in this first episode of what we're calling the TAW Talks podcast, right? TAW Talks dates back to when there's some, a lot of stuff here around us that I think our viewers, many of our viewers who are brothers anyway, I hope there's some beyond that, but can identify with. But it goes back to newsletters that the chapter would send out to alumni in 1925. That's the oldest one we have, and we actually have that newsletter. Some of you guys have seen that, right?
it's incredible.
So, we took that name and we're sort of 2026 in it, right? And looking for, our hope is to provide a periodic, meaningful connection with our alumni, to keep them in tune with what's going on with you guys. That's our goal. And the idea came out of a conversation that I had, right? The chapter is always at its strongest when alumni are involved, right? So a conversation I had with one of our alumni, who's actually one of my pledge brothers, Charlie Burney, up in the DC. I think Charlie lives in Bethesda, if I'm not mistaken, but in the DC Bethesda area, he's got a company called Podville Media. And Charlie hasn't been, like many of our alumni, hasn't been connected with the chapter, hasn't heard from the chapter in a long time. And right away, he's like, forget a newsletter, man. You guys need to do a podcast. So I want to, give a shout out to Charlie for sure, in terms of helping birth this idea and his support. And Podville Media is our sponsor of this first ever episode of Taw Talks. So
Fantastic.
our appreciation to Charlie and Podville Media. Let's talk about the chapter.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of, I mean, certainly I can tell you between 1983, when I was initiated, 1997, when Chris was initiated, there's been a lot of changes. Hell, there's been a lot of changes in the past 3 to 5 years.
Definitely.
You know, but what do you think would be of value for our alumni here? You guys have a little
I
conversation.
mean, yeah, I think the current state of the chapter is definitely something they'd like to hear about. We're sitting at about 46, if I'm not mistaken. 46 guys.
That's right.
46 guys in our chapter right now, which we're the biggest Greek life organization at the school by very large margin. I think the next biggest is Pike at like 25 guys. So we haven't been struggling as much as other fraternities in the recruitment realm, I guess you could say. Part of that could be attributed to lacrosse guys rushing a little bit more. But we've also just, I think our party scene helps us out with that. And just our brothers.
Definitely agree.
Yeah, just our brothers also making connections with those guys and really showing them what it's all about here. Yeah.
I'd say, like, I remember, you know, in 2022 coming in here, we had one of the largest, you know, Taw chapter, like, classes in a long time.
Legends.
I'm looking at the composites and I see, you know, like 2021, there's 20 guys or maybe less. And I think by spring of 2023, it was around 60, like close to 60.
Which is crazy.
I think
And that's one of those changes, right? One of the changes that happened at the institution that was favorable for us was fall formal recruitment. A lot of guys that will still remember, a lot of our alumni will still remember spring official recruitment.
Oh,
Right. And the challenge, you know, I mean, and I think we're in great, I mean, the last report I heard was almost a 3.0
Yeah.
average GPA for the chapter. So I'll throw that out there.
that's definitely going up.
Right? There's got to be, I don't know what's in the water. You know, but we had, right, at that time when it was spring, you had to have a 2.5 grade point average at the college in the fall.
Okay.
Right? What really was favorable for us with fall recruitment is now they go back to a 3.0 high school grade point average. As long as we have a 3.0 high school grade point average, you're good to go. And, you know, there's nobody in the house that had less than a 3.0 high. There's nobody at Roanoke likely that had less than a 3.0 high school grade.
Yeah.
Right. So that was what contributed to that, and a lot of growth. And we've been very successful with fall recruitment.
Tommy, just to clarify, you're saying that Roanoke College is an academic powerhouse?
Powerhouse.
Okay. Just
Yes.
let's make sure we got that on film for you.
Yes. And we're leading the charge.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some that might challenge that. But, you know, I got a couple daughters that might challenge it. That's for sure. What else? I mean, you know, so you know, academically we're doing well. Obviously, financially,
Yeah.
you know, it's still always got challenges. There's some stragglers paying dues and that kind of stuff. But how are we doing financially?
Yeah, I was a queester for the year of 2025. So when I took over, I don't even know how much debt we were in. We were in a couple thousand for sure, which may not sound like a lot for some chapters, but you know, with the chapter, we probably had about the same amount of guys last year that we do this year, maybe a few more, probably about 45 to 50 guys. It's a lot of money for sure, but we were able to navigate and you know, get it paid back, and we're all paid up with nationals now. So, you know, we don't have anyone from nationals coming down. You know, we don't have to worry about, at least for now, we don't have to worry about getting squared away with them. It's all of our money now can be going towards social events or really whatever we choose.
Yeah.
They don't want the grand queester after him.
No, we don't. No, we don't. I've heard that guy's tough.
Certainly when he's from our chapter at the same time.
How's the, you know, I think it evolves every year, but there's certainly those constants for many years socially, right, at the college. What are, you know, I mean, in the not too distant past, there were some differences.
Yeah.
Compared to today. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have as much social experience as the rest of these guys here, but I think a lot of people sitting here would say the downfall of Craig Ave is something that needs to be studied on. It's crazy.
That might need to be
It's
studied,
absolute
yes.
insane. I never truly got to experience Craig Ave at its peak. These guys did. I'm sure they've got stories about it. But
Yeah, I mean, we had
and what do you mean by the downfall?
well, I mean, I've heard legends about Craig crawls and just
Yeah.
house to house, every house is packed.
And it's
with
not like
people.
that anymore.
Well, it's dead now. There's hardly any houses on Craig Ave even owned by college kids anymore.
Tarp.
Tarp's no longer a part of.
No. It was an absolute staple every
Hurts.
weekend. Even Wednesday.
Oh, that's decades of brothers. I mean, even alumni who didn't know it as undergraduates got to know Tarp.
Yeah, I mean, it was having Tarp was everything. I think Dell and Alex and I, everybody else in this room, when we first got to Roanoke College, our first party was at Tarp.
Foyer and I was not. That was actually, they lost it in the spring.
Oh yes,
before
you guys
it
got
there.
Tarpless.
So we got,
that's right.
we had 216, which was right across the street. That was kind of served as a replacement. So my first party in Foyers as well was actually a 216 party. But most other people, a lot of their first parties were.
One of our new brothers, Wes, was talking. I think it was Wes talking about earlier when he came down as a recruit.
Yeah.
He made it to Tarp.
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah.
It's a really young guy who's still got a little Tarp history, but he was a high
So
school.
some guys would do recruiting visits just for that.
Right? Right? Yeah. I mean, but that changes. Now, so what's the social scene like now?
Yeah, so the social scene's tough now. We don't have off-campus houses anymore.
What about think about other areas of where things have changed and pledge program, for example.
Oh yeah,
Right, and Chris and I both can, as I would think many of our viewers might be able to identify with, like a 3-month pledge program. What's it like now?
it's
5
weeks.
Yeah,
5
5
weeks.
5 weeks. Yeah.
5 weeks.
Definitely an expedited process here.
I will agree with
For sure.
100%.
And what's the pledge learning process like now?
I think it's you still do have those meetings, and you're still learning about Sigma Chi. I find it hard to imagine that you can learn as much in 5 weeks as you can.
Yeah.
I just figure it's against the averages, but you still do learn a lot, and you get to know all the brothers very well. You're constantly hanging out with them and doing stuff and helping them out, learning about the fraternity and its culture and how to become a productive member of it, and not only a consumer.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of the brothers do a good job of educating
Yeah.
the pledges on.
So the pledge program still has taught chapters of flavor, so to speak.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Right now, what is describe for our viewers, because it's also a very 2026 experience.
Yeah, Sigma Chi has definitely implemented the use of virtual education, I guess would be the proper terminology. But there's programs set up like R4L designed to help educate the pledges a little more also. And I think it does a great job of it. It definitely gets to the point, and the pledges do learn from it. And they're required to complete it before becoming a
P for B is good too. It's not hard. I mean, but at the end of the day, I'll hear a pledge. Yep.
Yeah, you got to do
These
it.
four guys haven't done their P for B. It's
Something
been,
you gotta
it's been
do.
3 months.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah.
How?
It's just-
How have you not?
How have you not? It's you're just clicking through on your laptop.
Maybe they just enjoy hearing from me in the console over and
just
over.
want to keep hearing about.
I like my
your
voice.
B for B.
They like getting text.
Like having their name in the mention, being mentioned. Yeah.
Preparation for brotherhood is during the pledge program. Ritual for life is what many of our alumni brothers would identify with as post-initiation training.
Yes.
A set of required online learning modules. Many of our brothers would remember officer training being done at workshop. When it's no longer done at workshop, it's another set of online learning modules, right? That officers have to complete. Alumni weekend is coming up. We should talk about that. What kind of plans do we have for alumni weekend?
Yeah, we have so we got a lot of the lacrosse guys in the fraternity have a game that was it one
Game, I believe, at noon against Randolph.
noon against Randolph. So
Senior day as well.
yeah, senior day as well. So
Senior
we beat them down. We're having a ritual ceremony 10 a.m.
Yeah. So you guys will be preparing, whatever your schedule is.
Yeah.
Obviously, you'll be doing that. We will gather here at the house Saturday morning. Probably aim for a ritual meeting at 10 o'clock. We'll have some refreshments here for before, after, whatever. Hang out here. migrate up, see the game, and then I think you guys. I mean, I've heard talk of some music, some food, some drink.
Yeah.
Certainly found some brotherhood.
Oh
It's a
yeah.
great thing to mention.
Yeah, we have
Right. Yeah.
alumni Mass
So, yeah.
Manjaris. He graduated 3 years.
Technically 2023.
Yeah, 2023.
Is his band gonna play?
Yeah, yes. Mason Jars are coming.
They're solid.
They're a great
Hey,
band.
they played Mason Jars played up there.
Yeah, they
All of
jam.
weekend.
They're awesome.
They're
So
jam-
we're pretty jazzed up about that. We were in contact with some other bands, but when we heard that they were open and they were willing to come, and for the price that they're willing to do it for,
I remember seeing Jari's outside the house, and there's a massive like Honda minivan with all their and I'm like, you have so much equipment. He's like, yeah, it's our band van. We ride around in this thing and it's got
Yeah.
all of our
yeah, they jam.
They're on the road.
yeah, they're just on the road.
Yeah, they're
The
awesome.
Jarheads, that's all.
Yeah, so we're pretty fired.
So good times for alumni weekend.
Oh, yeah.
April 10th.
April 11th.
April 10th through 12th is
April 10th
Yeah.
through 12th. Saturday the 11th.
Yeah, the Mason Jars will be here the
Yeah.
11th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ritual meeting, come share some program, hanging out in the afternoon,
Yeah,
see the boys win a game,
Oh, yeah.
celebrate our seniors.
Yeah, we'll have some cornhole set up and stuff
Good.
on the log for
Good.
all the alumni.
Yeah. Alumni undergraduates together, the chapter is at its best. And, in that light and as a part of Talks from episode to episode, we want to spend a little time taking a deeper dive with one of our alumni, have an alumni profile. And, Chris has been here with us the whole time. I couldn't be prouder or more proud of him and having had the opportunity to see him from the time he was 18 till now and that journey. And, most guys, I get a chance to hop on the bus for like 4 years, 3.5 years. And then you head in different directions. This guy and I have, we've built our own sort of bus together. And our current Grand Queester elected, Chris spent a lot of time. Let's see, it started with Horizons and being a guide, then a session coordinator, and then the Horizons Operating Board, and then the Foundation Board of Governors, and now serving as our Grand Queester of the Sigma Chi Fraternity, elected just this past summer, right? And that office will go through 27. I love you.
That's
I'm proud of you. And I'm pleased that you're here to be our first alumni profile. I'm going to turn it over to these guys, and you guys go at it. Chris, introduce yourself for us.
Yeah, well, I couldn't do a better job than Tommy did, but I will say I was a very different person, as I guess most of us are at 18, 19, 20 years old. And I think Tommy said we've been in lockstep a long time. It wasn't always lockstep in those 18 to 22 years. And I am eternally grateful for Tommy, not just in his guidance and leadership here, but in twisting my arm to get involved with Horizons. I think a lot of us, we come here, we have a great experience, we meet the best of friends, but our Sigma Chi experience, it could be a lot broader. And so I don't know that I would have continued on in adulthood being engaged without Tommy's influence. And that experience at Horizons did change the trajectory of my life. And so the guys that I went to school with saw a very different Chris Walters. The ones that have been with me the whole time have seen a transformation, I would say, and others that, hopefully I'll get to share time with in the future to be able to see the differences as well. But I think if we can embrace what's out there, the leadership programming that's offered, the Sigma Chi brothers beyond our chapter, it's like anything else, right? You get out what you put in. So I just wanted to make sure I thanked you for keeping me involved.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. And you guys, I know we've got a few questions prepared that we can share. Chris lives locally and is very gracious of his time with the chapter. I think you spend a lot of time. I don't know anything regarding the direction of the fraternity. Well, again, shut up. You guys talk. There's questions somewhere.
Yeah.
If we need to refer to those, right? Go ahead and chat with Chris.
Yeah.
So what I'll say is this is just coming up off the top of my head, but did your experience at Horizons somehow get you to want to pursue like a higher officer position within the national fraternity?
No, not at all. But what it did was really made me think about who I am, why I behaved the way that I behaved, and who I wanted to be, and sort of gave me the tools to understand that. 18 to 25, I don't know how uncommon or common it is, but I wanted to be loved and the funniest person in the room and all the accolades. Just I lived for it, and yet I behaved in a way that really probably got me the opposite. Right? I was sort of the big loud drunk on occasion, really focused on some of the wrong things rather than making decisions every day on the values we talk about. And so that's why it was so transformational to me. I'm still awed to this day that I've been able to contribute in the leadership positions I have. It's never been something that I aspire to, but I am humbled and thrilled to be able to do it.
Awesome.
Sure. That's a good question. And I've got a question for you as well. So a little bit of your background, where are you originally from? What made you choose Roanoke College, and how'd you, end up rushing Super Chi?
Yeah, that's a great story. I am from just outside of Wilmington, Delaware. And a bunch of guys that were buddies of mine were soccer players. And our soccer coach somehow landed at Roanoke College. So we were doing our normal recruiting trips and JMU, Virginia Tech, all these places. And we had a mentor in high school, Paul Peretz. And Paul was a Sigma Chi from the University of Michigan. And he just was either one of the guys that he liked. He said, you need to go look at Sigma Chi. So I come to Roanoke College. Of the entire group, I'm the only one that decided this is where I wanted to be. And it was because as I walked on this beautiful campus, everybody was overwhelmingly polite. They were dressed sort of, they didn't have pants around their ankles or chains in their ears, and they were polite and incredibly just welcoming. And so that's why I chose Roanoke. And then as soon as I got here, I said, I want to meet some Sigma Chi's. And the first night I was here, met a few, had a blast, and the rest was history. And the other two guys on the recruiting trip, one went to Virginia Tech, one went to Radford, both played Sigma Chi as well.
Awesome. Okay.
So
That's cool.
It was a great experience.
Because of Paul Peretz.
Paul Peretz.
Wow. Way to go,
Now the
Paul.
chapter eternal, but
Yeah. All honor to his name.
great
That's
message.
fantastic. What a great story.
Yeah, I guess I have a question. It would be like, what recruitment was like when you were here, and if you have any stories about like how big your chapter was and what the guys were like, and how many athletes were in each fraternity. How
Yeah.
different it is compared to now.
I think from the sound of it, and I don't know a lot about now, but I would say, we always want to say we're dominant, but we certainly didn't have an edge in numbers the way you do today. At my time, interestingly enough, we had only one lacrosse player at that time, and most of the lacrosse players did not pledge fraternities. They kind of had their own thing going on.
Yeah.
And we had a number of soccer players, but we really did have, we had some golfers.
Yeah.
We restarted the baseball program
Okay.
my pledge year, and so we had a couple baseball players, and we had some nerds, that I love to this day. They're wonderful. We truly had a very diverse group of people who, again, are just my dearest friends today. And you look and you're just like, man, like, if we didn't have this shared experience together, would I be that close with some of these folks? And it's just such a great thing, because you truly do. I mean, I know it's in our documents, but you really only learn from people who have a different perspective. And in today's world, where we're so tribalized and we're in these bubbles where we're only listening to the same things that we want to hear, it's refreshing to have brothers who you can have a conversation with and disagree about things people are fighting on social media. And that's where you learn. And I've learned from them. I hope they've learned from me. And a lot of times you want the same thing. It's just, how do you get there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just hearing what you just said. I mean, I view that as deep, like, real talk when you're engaging with ideas that may not be your own. And, that's what can lead to so much advancement. And better friendships, too, when someone may have a different perspective than you, and constantly engaging with the same, like, thought processes or opinions, definitely doesn't need it as much. That's a really good point.
It's crazy. Our founders at their age, they wrote this stuff down in a way that is just so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's legit.
That's actually insane. Can't even think about that.
I mean, what other questions for Chris? Anything?
I mean, I guess I could probably go with a basic general question, but do you have any like fun experiences or fond memories from your time here at Roanoke College that you wouldn't mind sharing?
Best time of my life. The stories are endless.
Yeah.
There's a group of us that still get together every year, play golf. It's our 26th year this year doing it,
Wow.
and we tell all the same
That's awesome.
stories.
Yeah.
We've got, whether it was going to Mardi Gras for spring break. We used to have what's called Tequila Thursdays in the house every week. Twice a year, you'd have what we call Main Street versus the World, which is sort of like our tarp.
Okay.
And you order, I don't know, 40 kegs, and you had till Sunday at midnight to get them finished. And it was
There's some good ideas that we might do there.
We might do that.
Some of those stuff.
they absolutely were the best years of my life, and we had a ton of fun.
One of the things we want to accomplish is letting our alumni know how different the environment is to continue to carry that flag, and where the challenges lie, and how valuable the scholarships are, how valuable that leadership development training. I mean, it's not really for your years as an undergrad. This leadership development training is for the years after, and getting you ahead. Right, and it can do that, and our alumni are providing that, and they expect you to take full advantage. A chapter that dates back to, we talked about the 150th anniversary, right, and that was just a couple years ago. I mean, were any of you here for that event?
That was the year. Those
I've heard
my
stuff. Heard it was a
Right.
crazy time. I was still a senior in high school.
Yeah, a party that Chris started planning a decade before.
That's awesome.
He had thoughts about that. 'Cause that's significant. And 300 people plus in the hotel ballroom.
505.
505.
That's awesome.
I've seen some pictures of what's
Right. And I don't know how many of those. I mean, you got to estimate a good 200, 250 easily were brothers.
More. Yeah, because you had all of the singles were just our rights for the most part. So,
Right.
yeah, and I think at the time we had about 750 living alumni. We had over half physically here for the 150.
That's awesome.
And that is something special. It really is. That the experience that all of these men have had through the years was important enough, meaningful enough that they trekked back here, ages 24 to 104, whatever it was, Mr. Ayers.
Right. Mr.
At
Ayers.
100, I think it was 101.
And
Jordan
Melnick, Brother Melnick.
video, yes.
Yep.
Incredible. And so that is really unique and special and enduring, right? We're all only on this planet for so long, but we are a part of something bigger. And as we strive for those ideals and make our mark in the world, this is where that is recorded and remembered. And when we do pass on one day to the chapter eternal, all of our brothers here will be the ones lifting the glass and saying, remember that time, that Dell did A, B, and C.
Right.
It's just a wonderful thing.
And as we talked about, I think we alluded to earlier on, right? Our standard sort of, menu of this podcast is a chapter update, alumni profile, and to dive into that history a little bit.
Yeah.
Alex was our immediate past historian.
First of all, what I gotta say is, back in 1925, how many of those guys would have thought that their newsletter would have turned into this?
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
I mean,
seriously.
that's a crazy thought in and of itself. And I've during my time as a historian, I've taken a big look at some archival stuff, some books that are this thick, right? Like this Roll of Initiates book right here. And some of these books are worn out, but they've withstood the test of time. They've withstood it, and you'll find something from the year 1900. Handwriting's a lot different.
Yeah.
It could be an annotator note. It could be just initiates writing their name, where they're from, and they wrote paragraphs. And now, you'll go, up to the dean's office or Colquitt, wherever you go to sign your name, saying you're pledging some kind. A lot of most people just write their name,
Right.
And
Signatures.
Signatures are.
Yep.
But
Yep.
there was so much more. Some of the things we have here, Chris, we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
That's dated back to, I forgot which year.
This is dated back
That's
to
dated.
creation.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that is absolutely nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was given to the chapter on the 150th anniversary. Brother Carl Kappas His company did some restoration, I think, of the original founding site of Sigma Chi at in Oxford, Ohio, at the University of Miami, right? And was able to grab a piece of that original. That's original wood that he and his company probably replaced. But yeah, as a part of the treasure trove.
There's a ton of things here that are so unique to Taw itself.
Yeah.
And it's just fantastic to be a part of it. I think the deeper you go, the better it gets.
Yeah.
I'm personally a legacy, so my dad was
Nice.
part of the Theta chapter at Gettysburg, graduated in '85. Same year as you. For me, like hearing that there was Sigma Chi at Roanoke, I was like, yeah, I want to do that.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's the historical aspect is rich here. And the best thing, like I said earlier, it's a lot of things that are unique to Taw. So
I have no idea where we are on time. Again, we're stumbling through this thing, this Taw Talks, right? The first podcast ever, and what we want to do is share a historical moment, but we want to know what our alumni might like to see as well. You know, in terms of this podcast, it's evolving. This is the baseline.
Yeah.
You know, so suggestions, feedback, without question, it's alive because of, and again, to recognize Charlie Burney and Podville Media, right? This is the sponsor of our first episode here that made this all possible. He's, guided me through, a lot of thinking about this, and you guys have been hearing about it, and here we are. But sponsorships, I will tell you, and we'll have it certainly embedded somewhere in the outro to this thing, but 1872 talks at gmail.com is we'd welcome feedback, welcome suggestions. Who would you like to see sitting in that chair, sitting in this chair? Primarily, it's going to be the authentic voice of the undergrads.
we definitely want this thing to grow and gain some traction.
Yeah.
And I think just being as authentic as possible. Everyone here brings their own unique viewpoints and what they've done here. It was fantastic having you here, Chris. I mean, just the Greg Weister of Sigma Chi, that's pretty legit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
We've
have
not
Tommy as
one of
well.
those. We've not, we've got Order of Constantine members. Chris and I are both Order of Constantine members. We've got certainly significant SIGs.
Definitely.
Brother Teeter recently, right? Brother Shockey recently. But we've never had a Grand Officer. We had Dr. Charles Jacob Smith, back in an 01 grad, who was president of the college, and very influential in reinstalling the chapter in 1923. He was a heavy hitter, I think, at that level, but not a Grand Officer. And so, yeah, I echo with these guys. Chris, thanks for being here on this
Happy to.
kickoff episode of Taw Talks. We're looking for, and you just said the word authentic, I think one of you did, right? We're looking for the authentic voice of the undergraduates to provide meaningful and periodic connections with our alumni, with our families, with our friends, with those that we maybe never met, and I'd like to think we accomplished that here, right?
Definitely.
We're all in this freaking,
But
this is the first liftoff ever,
This is our first go. I think it just provides so much more depth than a run of the mill newsletter.
Chris, any parting words before we wrap up?
Well, I think I would say to everybody who's listening at home, watching at home, it's never too late to get involved again. Whether that's with Tall chapter, whether that's with an alumni chapter in your town or community. But I think, again, you get out what you put in, but you get to meet some amazing people. My best friends in the world are Sigma Chi's, and a lot of them are Sigma Chi's I met after the Tall. So embrace it. It's just a wonderful experience of wonderful brothers that we have all over north, south, east, and west.
It's a journey that can go on, right?
Never too late.
Yeah. Undergrads, anything you want to share before we wrap up?
Look forward to seeing all the alumni. Alumni weekend, April.
Alumni weekend.
Oh, Tom was looking forward to this.
Jars, please come out and support another alumni band. It would mean a lot to him too,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. And certainly we always welcome support for Alumni Weekend. Our alumni have supported us so much. Come back and we'll show you a good time and show you how much we appreciate them, and seeing guys from last year to many years ago. Yeah, let's wrap up. Thanks to Charlie Burney for sponsoring this episode.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thanks for joining us for this first episode of the Tall Talks podcast. We hope to return with episode 2 in the fall of 2026.